This weekend, I was fortunate enough to spend some time with a group of returning citizens who are now making the best of their second chance. And I wanted to highlight Marcy cooking and us just spending time together and talking and kind of processing, coming from a common background and also a common goal of making the best of our second chance.
And I'm just made a mixture with some cream cheese and some crushed cheese puffs. I'm stuffing the jalapenos and I'm breading them in chips, and I'm gonna fry them in the blow dryer. So normally I would use a paper bag in Texas, but hey, we're inmates and we improvise. I'm gonna use a pillowcase today. And in prison we didn't have pillows in Texas. We didn't have pillowcases, but we did have commissary bags that were fabric. And so we fried in those sometimes, so I'm sure this is gonna work great for us.
Did you ever use popcorn bags? That's what we always fried in.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. And Johnny bags too. We used a lot of Johnny bags because if you were cooking for just maybe two people,
It's a brown
they
bag.
don't call
I'll tell you
Johnny's.
right.
They don't call
no,
lunch
that's only
Johnny?
a Texas thing. Nobody else calls them Johnny. They call them they call the bag lunches Johnny sacks. The really gross food that I did in that story.
Yeah, I've seen
Those
pictures.
are Johnny sacks. That's what those were.
Yeah, that's so interesting. That's definitely a paper sack, small paper sack, right? That's what we would use. But I'm putting the cream cheese on the outside so that it'll stick. And this is like a shake and bake.
It better not be gross. I don't know how y'all make stuff in Texas, but it better be good.
It's going to be awesome.
Hope
Y'all
so,
are going to
man.
be impressed. And if you're not, don't say. Because I did fight a lot in prison. I just look this way.
Hey, Colin, I think she could take you.
Listen,
I'm just
she
saying.
can.
He might win in the end, but I promise I'll give him a run for his money. He didn't fight in prison. He already said.
Yep.
He fought in county, right? So.
Yeah, like when I was 18 when I first went up, so it's like,
Yeah, you get into it.
this is a little reckless, you know what I mean? By the time I got upstate, I was like, still 18. I'm trying to go home though, eventually, you know what I mean? So let me chill. I got a long enough tail that's if I don't chill, take it a little bit harder on myself, so. And then I got it right up 8 months before I seen parole and got denied anyway. But it wasn't for a fight, it was for a tattoo motor, so.
Were you given tattoos?
No, absolutely not. Me, the least artistic person you'll ever meet in your life.
I don't know. You got that one hand-drawn, signature tattoo. Really high class.
Which one?
The signature one you got for the videos?
This one?
Yeah.
A lot of people got this misconception that you have to fight in prison when you get there. That's a lot of questions people ask me, like, what was your fight stories? How many people you had to stab? How many? That's really not the case. At the end of the day, it's really how you conduct and carry yourself.
Yes.
It's just kind of like out here. You're watching what you say, you're minding your own business, and it'll be okay. Very seldom. Does happen, it's prison at the end of the day, but it's not as blown up and dramatized like a lot of movies and TV shows trying to make it out the same.
Absolutely.
I was only in
And
one
great
fight,
dude
but I
off
just
the
punched the
social
girl
network.
and
Yeah, the most common question.
But then there was one time that people thought I was trying to fight this girl and I wasn't. But it was my bunkie. She hated me. She was such a bitch. And she was keeping me up, banging on the bunk till 2 in the morning. And I actually went in the bathroom to cry because I was I cannot deal with this bitch. I just want to fucking sleep. They thought I was going in the bathroom to wait for her to show up to fight her, and she's got 200 pounds on me. and I'm sitting in there crying, and I finally get my shit together, and I come back out after an hour. So they're like, yo, you're so bad. You were waiting for an hour for her to come and so you could fight her. I was like, let's go with that.
Yeah. That'll work. So you got that lip. That is so funny.
No one would ever fight me. Or even want to fight me. All I would have to do is stand up. I never got into a fight because I would just stand up. And then no matter what shit they were talking, it was over.
I feel like the only way as a very short person you can be intimidating is by just the fact that I want to fight someone and I'm bigger than me. They're oh, she crazy.
Yeah.
And somebody told me one time to just bite. Start by biting. Bite like an eel.
So that's
something
crazy.
serious. So
Ain't
the
no
people
fair
are
fights.
that bitch is nuts.
Yes. I
did not actually bite anyone in prison, though, just to be clear.
We had a little El Salvadorian guy who was everybody would call him the spider monkey because he didn't care who it was, he would fight you, and he would just literally climb up people, fucking rip on their eyeball, he was vicious.
No.
Yeah. And to the point that he would talk shit to people, they'd be like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, what's the number one reason people fight where you were?
So I'll be honest. DC jail is rough.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard
That's
about that.
they call it gladiator school.
No.
And that's a legit thing. It's a stabbing every 3 hours. But when I finally got to prison, I was like, fuck, like shit.
That's
I
good.
can breathe.
Relieved.
Yeah.
You're
I
relieved.
was
Yeah.
like, shit, like it's freedom, but and it was so bad because it's technically like we was on 23-1. Because as soon as somebody gets stabbed, the whole jail is locked down,
Yeah.
and you come out, so they'll let half of a side out, and you
Right.
only come out of the shower and use your phone. And I did that shit for like 2 years straight. So when I got to the feds, like I know this sounds crazy, it's like, fuck, like,
Absolutely.
I was like, I'm free, like I feel free. And then I had 2 years left, so I was like, fuck. And then you don't do shit, you just fucking work out all day in your cell with your cellie and wipe the floor, and
What?
that's it. Like
They do the
but-
ice on the floor thing and where you were?
You said the
Ice
ice
on the floor? No, that was
Ice
just
on the floor.
Yeah,
I don't
for
know
the
what-
wax, make it real shiny.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no, we put
I
ice.
didn't do that shit.
Yeah, we ain't
That
have.
drove me crazy. It didn't make scientific sense, and they would get obsessed over it, and I was freaked out.
No,
Yep.
we bought floor wax from the floor crew.
No,
Yeah,
but
we
you do
call
that,
in,
but then you
buy
seal
them,
it.
You wax your, yeah,
You seal it with the ice. Is the idea.
Oh,
I don't think it makes any difference.
I don't know.
So
I've never,
we
didn't have
had the
access
same
to
thing.
ice.
Then 2 years in county, 2 years in the feds.
Yeah, so
Okay, wait.
It was more
You're
like-
about to do shit here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want
Oh, yeah.
to turn this on, but I don't want to interrupt.
no, go.
And
No,
do this,
come on.
so, we'll have to maybe turn this
Tell
on.
us what
and-
you're doing.
Okay, so I put
Oh,
our
is it?
peppers
Do I
in
need
the
to-
pillowcase, and I hooked our blow dryer up to it. Now, when I turn this on, I might have to have some weight. I don't know how it's gonna, if it's gonna blow out. We'll have to see. Oh no, it's gonna go. It's fine. Nope. Okay, I'm good.